It's okay. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jam Shripad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shtarasata Shishimad Aisi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Go Premananda Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, text number 17. Tanah param punyam asam vritartam Tanah param punyam asam vritartam Akyanam atyad bhuta yoga nishtam Akyanam atyad bhuta yoga nishtam Akyahyananta charito papannam Akyahyananta charito papannam Parikshitam Bhagavata Birahamam Parikshitam Bhagavata Birahamam Tanah param punyamasam vritartham Akyanam atyad bhuta yoga nishtam Akyahyananta charito papannam Parikshitam Bhagavata Birahamam Please chant. Akyahyananta charito panam Akyayanta charito papanam Parikshitam Bhagavata Biramam Tanah param punyamasam vritartam Tat Therefore, Naha unto us, Param, supreme, Punyam, purifying, Asamvritartham, as it is, Akhyanam, narration, Ati, very, Adbhuta, wonderful, Yoganishtam, compact in Bhakti Yoga, Akyahi, describe, Ananta, the unlimited, Acharita, activities, Upapannam, full of, Pariksitam, spoken to Maharaja Pariksit, Bhagavata, of the pure devotees, Abhiramam, particularly very dear. Translation and commentaries by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Thus, please narrate, I would just read. Thus, please narrate to us the narrations of the unlimited, for they are purifying and supreme. They were spoken to Maharaj Pariksit, and they are very dear to the pure devotees, being full of Bhakti Yoga. Purport. What was spoken to Maharaj Pariksit and what is very dear to the pure devotees is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is mainly full of the narrations of the activities of the Supreme, unlimited, and therefore it is the science of Bhakti Yoga or the devotional service of the Lord. Thus it is para or supreme, because although it is enriched with all knowledge and religion, it is specifically enriched with the devotional service of the Lord. Tannah param punyamasam vritartam akhyanam atyadbhuta yoganishtam akhyayananta charito papannam parikshitam bhagavata birahamam. Thus please narrate to us the narrations of the unlimited, for they are purifying and supreme. They were spoken to Maharaj Pariksit, and they are very dear to the pure devotees, being full of Bhakti Yoga. Om Agyanti Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutala Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sahadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha. Hai Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namahom Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutala Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna. So this is the continuation of of the description of sages of Naimisharanya who are requesting Sutta Goswami to speak these beautiful narrations of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So we know that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was written by Vyasadeva, who was the literary incarnation of Krishna. And Vyasadeva, he has written all the Vedas, all the Puranas, but still he was not satisfied. Still he felt some despondency, unhappiness. Something was missing. He was not fully satisfied. Therefore he has met actually his spiritual master, Narada Muni, and Narada, he explained to him, actually he even explained his own life, how he realized God, and so on. And he instructed him that he should write this wonderful literature which is meant to enlighten then human society in this dark age of Kali Yuga. So because it is told that this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam actually is like a light for the people, for humanity, actually in this Kali Yuga. Sorry. Like Mahavishnu Swami once said that actually this material world, it is full of dangers. There is on every step danger. Come on, no one wants to serve Krishna. No one wants to serve Krishna in this material world. So therefore we came here because we didn't want to serve Krishna. We wanted to forget Krishna. Therefore we came to this material world. So 90% of the Vedas, which was written by Vyasadeva, it's about karma kanda. Means the acting for the result. Karma kanda activities which were meant for the grihastas and for brahmacharis. Why for brahmacharis? Because brahmacharis, they were helping in yagyas. So we know that at that time when Vyasadeva was writing Bhagavatam, so then Varnashrama was very well established. And at that time, people were doing sacrifices, people were doing temple worship, and so on. So 90% of the Vedas, it's karma kanda. Then 8% of the Vedas, it's upasana kanda. It's jnana kanda, which is meant for sannyasis. And then only 2% of the Vedas, actually it's upasana kanda, which describes devotional service. So only 2% of the Vedas. And then Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it's meant exclusively for developing pure bhakti, for developing pure devotional service, unalloyed devotional service. And it's written here that these narrations, they are purifying and supreme, and they were spoken to Pariksit Maharaj, and are very dear to pure devotees because they are full of bhakti. So therefore, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is describing the activities of the devotees, actually how we can develop our original position, come to our original position, which is Jivara Svarupahaya Krishnara Nityadasa. that we are eternal servants of the Lord, eternal servants of Krishna. So therefore, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam was spoken to Pariksit Maharaj and was very dear to pure devotees, because it's mainly full of the narration of the activities of the Supreme Lord and His incarnation and His devotees. And Srila Prabhupada many times was saying that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, if you are reading, he divided Bhagavatam like first canto, this is like a feet of the Lord. Middle parts are like chest of the Lord, and 10th canto is like a smile of the Lord. It's like a face of the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada said that if we are serious in Krishna consciousness and reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from first canto up to the last canto, then we can become, just by reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Shri Shri Gaunikai ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai Sudarshan Chakra ki jai. Yeah, so if we are reading actually Bhagavatam from first canto up to the 10th canto and then 12th canto, then Srila Prabhupada said, if we are serious in Krishna consciousness and really absorb ourselves in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, then we can become, just by reading Bhagavatam, we can become God realized. So it's so important actually to every day study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is so powerful that the great acharyas explain that this is not different than Krishna himself. That when Krishna actually left this world and went to spiritual world, actually he descended in the form of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and which is the transcendental sound vibration. So there is no difference actually between Krishna and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, same potency. If we are studying Bhagavatam, means we are in direct association with Krishna. Therefore it is so purifying, because this is Krishna himself. So therefore every syllable of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam has actually the unlimited potency to completely purify our lives. So, but we must actually hear attentively. So, and we must hear actually also in a proper state of consciousness. And not only we should study actually in the proper state of consciousness, but also we should hear from the devotees who are in the proper state of consciousness. And actually, frankly speaking, the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam actually really starts when the speaker, we close the book at the end of the class, and they will say, Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. Then actually Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam starts. In what way? Because then, people, devotees, they will go to their own homes, they will go to their own jobs, brahmacharis, they will go to their own services. And this is the test, actually, if we really heard Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Now, if after leaving this class, some people will go for drink some chai, or some other people will go, to house and watch TV. And some brahmacharis or some grihastas will go and then watch, their smartphones and some things not related to Krishna consciousness, means that such a person actually didn't hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Such a person didn't realize actually Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Because to hear Bhagavatam, to listen to Bhagavatam, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam means to apply this knowledge in our life. to live actually the instructions of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Like for example, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada it is told that he was a walking Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. I mean, living Bhagavatam. Because wherever Srila Prabhupada sat, wherever he went, whatever he did was, I mean, wherever he was sitting or wherever he was giving class, he was speaking from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Whether he was on morning walk, he was speaking from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam shlokas and knowledge. Whether he was in some life member's house, he was speaking Bhagavatam, like that. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada is our like example for us how we can apply this knowledge, how we can live this actually knowledge and implement this knowledge in our own lives actually. Therefore, we should not only, because we should not only read actually Bhagavatam, but also we should practice actually this knowledge. And then follow the principles of Bhagavatam, follow the four regulative principles which are like a futile ground on which this creeper of Bhakti Yoga actually can grow. Because if someone is not following the four regulative principles, so what is the use? This Bhakti can't grow. This creeper of Bhakti Yoga actually won't fructify in our heart. So therefore, once Mahavishnu Swami actually said, I saw some quote some time ago, then he said that this material world it's filled up with all kinds of dangers. That's on every step danger. That it's very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness in this material world. So therefore he said that to save ourselves from this danger, we require this purifying force of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We should and not only chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but also the reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Because I guarantee you that most of the people who can't do progress in spiritual life, whose spiritual lives, even after practicing by 5, 10, 15, 20 years of Krishna consciousness, if their lives, spiritual lives become stale and without taste, without ruchi, most of the most probably such a people they don't study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam properly, or they don't study at all. Therefore, without reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, actually our spiritual life become very stale, without juice, without taste. So I remember when I was brahmachari, sometimes we were doing, once in a while, once on 2 weeks or something, just one day, just reading, just studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or whatever book some particular individual was reading. And I remember that sometimes we were reading for 5-6 hours, in a day. And when you absorb your consciousness actually in reading Bhagavatam, then you can realize that actually all problems in your life just disappearing, or all problems what you think that were overcoming you and so on just become insignificant. So therefore, we can save ourselves from this danger. We need to study actually Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, because our mind is really a devil's workshop. If we will not engage our mind actually in studying Bhagavatam and chanting Hare Krishna, then this is very dangerous. Because mind, he will all the time create some plans, just to remain in this material world. So as many times I was saying this, that in the present state our mind is like a non-devotee. So this is actually our duty to make our mind devotee by pushing actually our mind to study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita, chanting rounds attentively, and so on. And we should always give the mind the strong dose of death. The strong dose of death means that then mind will be scared. Mind should always be reminded actually of the last day on the deathbed. Then if we will practice this, then we will see that whenever we have some desire for some sense gratification or for committing some sinful activity, then if we will, by good intelligence, if we will preach to ourselves that anyway, I am going to die soon, I'm going to die soon, because what is this, 30, 40, 50, 60 years in the face of eternity? It's nothing. It's not even the blink of the eye. It's not even the fraction of the second, like that. So we are going to die soon. So why to engage in sense gratification and waste our human form of life and waste our life? So we should preach to ourselves actually and use our intelligence, and then we will consider that this sense gratification, what we wanted to commit, what we wanted to do, it's just insignificant. Just anyway, it won't give us full satisfaction. Only Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, only practicing Krishna consciousness actually can give us the actually full satisfaction. Like Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adokshaje Aheituki Apratihataya Yatmu Suprasiddhati. That it is told in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that the supreme occupation or dharma is that by which man can come to the pure devotional service to the transcendent Lord. And this devotional service must be uninterrupted and unmotivated to completely satisfy the self. I remember once when I was maybe teenager, I had one friend who was invited by one girl for some party. It was, last class of high school, so she invited him to go for the party. This 100 days before the last exam in high school, there is some party organized like that. In India also? No? But at least in the West, we have like that, yeah. So, and when he went with her to this party, and then, they were dancing there and enjoying their lives, and, they drank a little bit. So then when she drank a little bit, she became a little philosophical. And then, on the party, when you are going on the party, then you're not speaking some philosophical questions on this, just you want to enjoy. But then she asked him, what do you think about that? And then he looked at her and he started to laugh. And just started to mock her and calling her, you are a stupid girl, what you are speaking about. Then later when he came to my house, he met me, he was my good friend. Then so much he was laughing from this girl, and he was saying and calling her silly and this, and that and that. And and it was at that time when I was thinking I was also a teenager, for me it was also a little strange. But then I remember then some time ago, 1 or 2 or 3 years after, when I joined to Krishna consciousness, and when I recollected actually this situation, then I realized actually that it was the most important thing what happened in his life actually. This question was one of the most important things actually what happened, because he never came to Krishna consciousness. He is just a non-devotee, and this is actually a very, very important question. Then what happened actually in the moment of death? And this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, there is so many bogus gurus in India which are teaching art of living, but actually Bhagavatam and Pariksit Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada is teaching us the art of dying. How we can actually prepare ourselves to this ultimate point of our life, because this is unavoidable. This is already said, this is already destined with the moment of our birth, that we have to die in due course of time. So therefore, we should hear actually from proper in the proper state of mind, because spiritual life, it's not easy, and no one told actually that it will be easy. There will be many actually ups and downs in our spiritual lives, but when we are absorbed actually in our life in studying Bhagavatam and we are surcharged spiritually, then only we will be able to actually pass the test of Maya. Otherwise, if we don't study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam properly and with a proper state of consciousness, that whenever some test of Maya will come, that we will fail. Like that. So, therefore, the ups and downs, it will be in our lives actually, but sometimes it is also helpful. Sometimes when we are down, then we can get a lot of realizations also. But of course, it's better to learn on. I mean, the first class of intelligence is to learn just by hearing. Second class of intelligence is to learn by experiencing, like that. So most of us actually, they are to learn. First, they will get some kick from Maya, then they will learn something, like that. But always we should be focused actually on our goal, to achieving this Krishna Prem, to achieve the love of God. It is the example is that sometimes when we are climbing, we want to climb some top of the hill. So when we are going to reach this top of the hill, so sometimes we are going up, sometimes we are going down, sometimes we are going up, down, and then up. But whether we are up or whether we are down, we are all the time watching this top of the hill. We are all the time, we have in the mind, we want to achieve this. We want to reach this top of this hill, like that. So whether we are up in our spiritual life, whether we are down in our spiritual life, so we should always keep Krishna in our mind. Then we'll be able to gradually we'll be purified. Like up to this Anartha Nivritti stage, it's very difficult, to pass from Shraddha, then Sadhusanga, then Bhajana Kriya, then Anartha Nivritti. It's very tough. But when we pass Anartha Nivritti and come to Nishtha, then our spiritual life will just go like a rocket, like that. Then this stage from Nishtha to Ruchi, Asakti, it's very fast. So therefore, we should actually hear the devotees, hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from the devotees who are in proper state of consciousness, and also the proper state of consciousness is, what is the proper state of consciousness? The proper state of consciousness is that of surrender. So this is the proper state of consciousness. We should be surrendered. Like that, we should be surrendered to the Lord. We should be surrendered to the instructions of our Guru, our spiritual master, and what does it mean to be of proper state of surrender? Means that we should be willing to give up our own will for the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should be able to give up our own will for the pleasure of the Lord, for the pleasure of Krishna, which is not so easy, especially on our stage, which when our heart is filled up with all kinds of anarthas, all kinds of impurities. Because unless we are convinced, if we are thinking that still there is some kind of pleasure in this material world, so therefore at that time it's very difficult to surrender. It's very, very difficult to embrace this Krishna consciousness full-heartedly. If you are still thinking that there is some kind of pleasure in this material world, that there is some kind of happiness in this material world, so it's very difficult to surrender at that time. So therefore, this Krishna consciousness actually, it's a gradual process. It's a gradual process. Yeah. So even I remember once Kadamba Kanana Swami, he said some story that he went to some place I think to Himalaya or some secluded place where practically only Brahmanas were living. And then he saw that these Brahmanas were actually very traditional. They were doing sacrifices, and they were, chanting the Vedas and so on. And then Kadamba Kanana Swami, he saw this, and then he became a little compassionate to these Brahmanas, and said that, he asked them. Actually, he said that now I think that these activities, what we are doing, it's very difficult in this age of Kali. Now, he said, now we have Kali Yuga, and in Kali Yuga, people are not so much supportive to the Brahmanas, and they are not giving donations, they are not supporting, and so on. They lost their culture, and then, these Brahmanas, they looked on Maharaj and said, Kali Yuga? What Kali Yuga? It's this Kali Yuga, this is one of the many Kali Yugas. How many Kali Yugas there is in the life, in the one day of Brahma? How many Kali Yugas are there? Hundreds and thousands of Kali Yugas. So they were considering actually this Kali Yuga as something completely insignificant. And we can see that actually this is true. That actually for a devotee, actually this Kali Yuga is insignificant. Because if someone is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, and someone is absorbed in studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, then this Kali Yuga, this material world in Bhagavatam is described like some puddle, where some water which is in the hoof print of a calf. But for us, actually, we have to struggle. We have to do some endeavor, because our hearts are very dirty, filled up with kama, krodha, lobha, lust, anger, greed, and then puja, labha, pratishta. So it's not actually easy to overcome on our own. So therefore we should always keep the association of devotees. Because in the association of devotees, actually we will feel some strength, like that. So, and the glories of Bhagavatam are described actually in Bhagavatam itself. Then we can see that in this second chapter of Bhagavatam, there is this 5 verses which starts from this all Shushusho Shadadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi and this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtanaha. Actually, these verses from 16th up to 21st, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he is describing the 14 steps to see the God. These verses, they're describing the 14 steps actually to see the Lord. From Shraddha to Prema. Yeah, this Satam Kripa Mahatseva Shraddha Guru Padashraya Bhajaneshu Spriha Bhaktir Anarta Pagamas Tatach Nishta Ruchi Asakti Ratich Pramata Darshanam Harer Madhurya Nubhavah Hyanartach Shush Chaturdase. So in this actually shloka, this Shushush Shadadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Viprach Punya Tirta Ni Shevanat. So it's very nice described actually that by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. And by such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva. Yeah, so this verse actually, some people are saying that I don't like to read, or I have no attraction for reading or studying, or when I read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam I fall asleep. So many people are saying like that. Many devotees they have this problem actually. That or I have no time, grihastas, they don't have time for reading because they are so busy in activities for maintaining family members and so on. Or brahmacharis are sometimes so much busy in the services, collections and so on. But actually this verse is, and many times we don't have taste, we don't have ruchi, we don't have taste for reading like that. So therefore this verse actually is the key, which describes that by serving the devotees we can get the taste. By serving the devotees we can get the taste for Vasudeva Kataruchi. Vasudeva Kataruchi. Then you can, because by serving devotees, actually we can get the mercy of the devotees. And mercy will come by within, mercy will appear actually, how this mercy will appear in our mind and in our heart by getting attraction actually to the topics of Krishna Katha. So by serving the devotees, the mercy will get the mercy, and this mercy will be shown by getting the taste and attraction actually for the topics of Krishna Katha. So therefore this service to the devotees, you can get we can get the mercy. And what will happen when we are serving devotees? We become actually cleansed also from all misgivings. So when we become cleansed from all misgivings, actually we are getting bhakti, we are getting punyam. And then automatically also we are getting the attraction to Krishna, attraction to studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, to chanting the holy name. Like that. So this is, you become cleansed of all misgivings. This punya tirtha nishevanat. So therefore this is the satam kripa mahat seva. This is the first steps actually. And so this verse actually describes the mercy of devotees. This shadadanasya. This verse describes the mercy of devotees, and the mercy of the devotees will come by serving the devotees. Yeah. And then by serving the devotees also, we will get faith. We will get shraddha in the Shastra. Therefore this is shraddha, then sadhusanga, yes. Because nowadays actually we don't have much taste and the attraction, so therefore by serving the devotees we can get the taste. So like I remember once one devotee, one senior disciple of His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami, he said once that when he came to Krishna consciousness, already, he was like a scholar. He knew so many shlokas, and he was studying so many Vedas and Puranas. But and he was doing this all on his own, and he could not understand anything. He couldn't understand anything. But then when he came to Krishna consciousness, and also he was studying Bhagavad Gita, he was studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he could not realize also much. But then he said when the temple president sent him for 1 or 2 months for book distribution, to do some service, book distribution means seva, to the pure devotee, to other living beings, to other souls, actually. So, and he said that later when he came back to the temple, when he started to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, he could understand everything. Because by service to the devotees, actually, we are getting mercy of the devotees, and then realizations will come actually in our hearts. Like that. So therefore, in next verse, Shrivatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtanaha Hridyantach Sto Hyabadrani Vidunoti Suhrit Satam. It's written that the Paramatma Super Soul, who is in everyone's hearts, is the benefactor and truthful, of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Hridyantach sto hyabadrani. So Krishna is standing inside, actually in our hearts. Krishna is there already in our hearts. And when he sees that someone has faith in the Shastra and reading it with interest and enthusiasm, then Krishna actually becomes very happy. And then he increases the taste, he actually increases the attraction, and then he reciprocates with such a person because the Shastra is a transcendental knowledge. And transcendental knowledge is Krishna. Transcendental knowledge means Shastra. Shastra means Krishna. So therefore, when you associate with Shastra, means that you associate with Krishna, and then you become purified. So therefore, then Guru Padashraya. Then when our faith, actually in the association of devotees, when our faith increasing, then we desire to accept shelter at the feet of spiritual master. Therefore, it's very important actually to serve devotees and not to do any Vaishnava paradas, not to judge actually devotees prematurely. Like I remember, maybe last story I will tell. I remember when I newly joined to Krishna consciousness, I went for the tour of Indradumna Swami. And, Indradumna Swami, he's doing a lot of festivals in Poland and a lot of preaching and so on. So once I went actually for one of the tour, and I was doing so many services there and this and that. And once I remember I went to the bathroom and I saw one devotee there. And this devotee, was keeping the razor in his hands and he was shaving his head. But because, most probably he was doing this first time in his life, I don't know, it looked like that, because his head was all cut, and blood was oozing from his head and so on. So when I saw him, I thought, oh my God, okay, give me this. Actually, I will help you, I will shave you. And as soon as I took this, this razor to my hands, I stood like that. Then one senior devotee entered the bathroom, and then he was washing his hands, and he looked on this devotee, this head, in blood, and then he looked at me, I am standing with this razor. and then he is saying to me, Prabhu, you cut him so much. And then I was a little shocked, he was a little senior devotee to me, and then I was just completely new. And I didn't say anything. And this devotee also, he was just, cut, with this head, in pain, blood was everywhere, And this devotee said, you cut him so much, he became angry on me. And then he said, you give this razor, I will shave him, like that. And then I went, but sometimes when we don't have, prematurely we are judging, like that, he just scolded me and so on, but I was completely innocent. I wanted to help, actually, like that. So we should be actually very careful and not to commit Vaishnava paradas and not judge, actually, prematurely, like that. So, therefore, this verse actually is saying that by serving devotees and reading Shastra, actually this our heart become actually this all desires actually for enjoyment actually will be purified, like that. Will be purified. So I will maybe conclude here. If someone has maybe some realizations or some comments and can share. Otherwise we will finish here. Gadadhara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo